Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Whilst this is Twitter, and I have been banned even under Elon Musk for speaking about England, the English and the English Constitution, I will say this. I was on Sonia Poulton's show this morning and a discussion come up about Restore Britain. And Sonia Poulton was basically of some opinion that they were saying they was going to deport every single black and brown person and mixed race person in the country. When I speak of country, I mean England. And I said, that's not correct. I said, I was at the Restore Britain launch. I was at the protest the next day in St George's Park in Great Yarmouth. I never heard anything like that. And in fact, I'm one of the very few people that are very interested in reading through a plan of deportations and re-immigration, a very constructive, very eloquent plan, 100 pages with in-depth reasoning. There's elements as a constitutionalist that I would add to it, which is the enforcement of the English Constitution, the abolishment of certain acts and part of acts to stop, and then you'll stop people being in positions that can stop us from moving forward. But the point of this video is to tell people just to listen. From what I've seen of Rupert Lowe, he doesn't speak of England enough. There's 50 million English. There's only 5 million Scots, 1.9 million Northern Ireland. Whatever the figure was for Wales, I can't remember it off the top of my head. But over 50 million English. That's important because you need to be communicating with the English. If you don't want the end of the Union and you don't want the end of the monarchy, you better start communicating with the people, because the people have started to wake up in a big way. I know because I do seminars on the English Constitution all over the country, and they're always well attended, including the one that I'm going to do in Cumbria, in Barrow and Furness, where they have just started to build a mosque for no apparent reason other than build it and they will come. So I want people to understand my position, and I spelt it out on Sonia Poulton's, that the ethno-nationalists, of which I am not, have a point. And their point is quite simple. They are protecting their culture and their race. There's many reasons why I don't align with them. And one of the reasons is they nearly all call themselves British. I'm English. And the English Constitution, nowhere does it mention race. Nowhere. So it does mention religion. It mentions a lot of things. They got rid of the Jesuits as well as the Jews, right? That's not a harmful conversation. It's a conversation in history that you need to have, right? Because our ancestors are actually telling you this is the problem we had and this is how we dealt with it. And everything that's coming up now today has happened before. The brilliance, and it is the brilliance of the English common law system, is it learns from past mistakes with no inherent political correctness, because most of it, majority in fact, was before Marxism, before Karl Marx, before the Fabian Society, and most of it well before the Jesuits were even founded. So again, try and have a look at the Sonia Poulton interview this morning, and this is especially to Restore Britain, right? I also, she said to me, you're very supportive of Rupert Lowe. I said, you haven't heard some of my rants. Sometimes everyone, no one is going to be aligned perfectly with anyone. And you have to understand that. But if you take 70 to 80% of what the man's saying, and I said, you're all focusing on immigration. He's already said, right? And a vast amount of the people in this country will be woken up by what he said. He said anyone who was fined or convicted during COVID for COVID offences, all those convictions are going to be quashed. Their fines will be returned, and anyone sacked will be compensated. That means our doctors, our nurses, the people who really stood up for us are going to be represented, right? First person I've ever heard say it, right? Even more so than Donald Trump. All I'm saying is, listen, don't have peripheral vision. Don't get suckered into what they want you to talk about, right? Which is the re-immigration, and make it some Nazi nonsense. And I also reiterated to Sonia Poulton that the English Constitution, in fact, it's in the Housby's Laws of England, forbids fascists and communists in the civil service. So all we're going to do is enforce the law. Why is there a load of Fabians running this country, including in the civil service? They are terrified of Rupert Lowe, right? That's it. So, again, we're not always going to align, but the more he speaks of England, I would be more pleased. I would have more confidence that he's going to win an outright majority, and I mean a majority, in the House of Commons if he speaks of England. Because you're talking about 50 million people that have had enough. And you're talking about 32.4 million people that said in the 2011 census, English only national identity. You've got a pent-up demand. Stand up and take it back. Take England back. And we can do that. And we can do it in a fair, concise manner that everyone will agree with, right? Not everyone's going to like what's going to happen. Listen, you've had certainly since the Second World War, this country has been destroyed. And it was the intention to destroy England as the beating heart of the United States of America. Our constitution and our language was exported to the United States of America. England is no minor nation. We're not interested in empires. We're interested in our people and conserving our culture. That's it. That's it. Don't forget, coming up this week on the 28th of February, the English Constitutional Seminar, where I will be showing you the English Constitution, or part of the English Constitution, and taking that to the people. And I will hopefully see many of you at Cumbria.